And welcome to Spaces. UConn 79, New Haven 55. UConn opens the season 24-point win. New Haven takes their first loss in their new life as a Division I program. Alex Caravan helped set the pace tonight, 19 points from him on 6 of 10 from the floor. 32 minutes from him, solo ball. Right behind him with 18. But what we watched was a game tonight. Not sure what to really think coming out of tonight's effort, Hurley Mania. On one hand, you win by 24 in your home opener. The game was there's never really any game pressure. Alex scored a lot of points. Solo scored a lot of points. Jalen Stewart looked great tonight. Everybody gave you more or less what they needed, I guess. But, man, there was a lot of eye test stuff tonight that I wasn't wild about. I don't want to say that I'm worried. I don't want to say that I'm concerned. But, man, if you were somebody that felt a little unsettled about what you saw last year, maybe it felt like deja vu all over again. What say you?
Good evening, and thanks to, of course, our partners at Store Central. Happy to have them on board for this and all our shows, our post-game shows this year. It's going to be a lot of trust but verify for me, especially with a team that's done so much to change over the backcourt. But, I'm excited about what they have, but also we have to see what they have now not do the things last year that were not good. And to paraphrase Dan Hurley postgame, this actually even might be a quote. I think the team's going to be really good, but that sucked to watch. They won by 24. I'm not panicked, not worried, still thrilled opening night. We have the Sport Mac. I still think the team's going to be really good, but tonight was a reminder that this is going to take time. And in a week and a half, playtime's over. They are going to be in the meat of an incredibly difficult non-conference schedule. And tonight, a week after we saw the knob cranked too far physically in one direction with the fouls against Michigan State, it felt like tonight they turned the volume all the way down. And players were defensively, they were in front of players defensively, but they weren't really playing defense. They just happened to be there, and that's not really how it works. And it's not a very high-end breakdown. But it was concerning defensively at times. Listen, 24-point win at home. Don't want to take that for granted. I give New Haven some credit. The first game D1, they had a lot of fans there, made a lot of noise. They also, I think, hit 1 million shots they're not going to hit in most games. New Haven finished with just 3 assists on 23 field goals.
Oh, so bad.
So, one-on-one tonight, in one-on-one situations, UConn was just flat out bad defensively. But I think it was kind of accentuated to an extreme that I'm not really worried about. I think New Haven hit 1 million tough twos. I'm just really excited for Mr. Pasha being a Husky this time next year as he hit 1 billion weird fadeaway twos. And it was just such a bad matchup for Eric Ryba because it's a center that plays a style that he's not going to see. As extremely difficult as playing Florida is with that front court, they're not going to be shooting elbow 16-foot fadeaways. It's going to be exactly what you expect. Big guys banging down low. And this is a team right now, a UConn team that is short 2 starters and is short a third player that we expect to see 5 to 10 minutes a night in the rotation and even more in a game like a New Haven game. So I'm trying to remember that as well. And I think a lot of the defense looks a lot better with Terrace Reed inside. But, man, even without him, it shouldn't be this big of a difference. And it's a little concerning. They're going to play again Friday against Lowell. And they get another cupcake game next Monday. And then this thing really gets going. And it's just going to be a question of can they get the defense to where it has to be. But especially in tonight, the thing that concerned me, hot balls, was the guard play, distributing the basketball. It just, the passing was just not great tonight.
How many assists did we have all night? It was 11.
Yeah, UConn had 11 assists on 27 field goals, and it would have been even more if not for the fact that UConn's finishing around the rim was poor. UConn was 10 of 19 on layups.
Yeah. It's a tough game to kind of walk away from, you know what I mean? Because they missed so many bunnies. New Haven hit so many like prayer shots tonight. I think you take, 4 or 5 in every direction. We're winning this game by 30 plus points, and I don't think people are batting too much of an eyelash at this.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, UConn closed on a 9-0 run to get the score to a place where nobody nationally is going to really notice or care about it. It was a 15-point game for most of the game, and it never felt, like you said, that never felt any score pressure, but it also didn't feel like it was about to go to 30 either.
No, I mean, they didn't have a shot to get to that 37 spread on the spreadsheet. They wanted to get to at any point during the game. I mean, I thought New Haven played about as well as they're probably capable of playing. I want to give them some credit here. But, I'll be honest, man, I don't like watching guards for New Haven being able to muscle up our very experienced, talented backcourt like that, getting downhill. It's the straight line drive stuff. It's like a lot of the stuff we saw last year, and it just can't happen. It's really all it comes down to. Like,
it's all straight line stuff. It's straight line,
that
it's straight
many
attack
field
stuff. There's
goals
nothing
on
complicated.
3 assists.
New Haven's not running complex Spain sets here. They're just driving downhill.
They weren't afraid of anybody and going just straight downhill on our guys. And, they had 3 assists tonight.
Yeah.
What was it, 23 field goals again? Is that what it was?
Yeah, they had
that's abominable. Like that's abominable. Like there's just
they had 3 players finish with 1 assist each.
Like that's impossible. Like that just can't be a thing. And I'll be honest, like the offense scored a lot. Like when you look at, like, had you not watched this game and if I had like looked at this box score in a vacuum, I'd have been like, oh, a little closer than I thought, but Alex Caravan scored 19 points tonight. Had 10 rebounds. Double-double. Had 5 offensive boards. He had 5 defensive rebounds. He was 3 for 4 from the 3-point line. Solo had 18 points tonight. Stewie looked great. But, like, if you watched it in real time, man, it definitely didn't feel like that.
No, and I thought Stewie was actually their best player tonight.
By
but
far.
Even post-game, Dan Hurley was getting on him and it wasn't just him. I mean, it was, you want to interpret the way he put it. He talked about juniors at the wing, so it's him, Jay Ross, Solo to some degree. The defense has to just be better, and we know that. But I thought Jalen did a really great job in transition defense.
Yeah.
But like not transitioned. A lot of that was recovery stuff because somebody's getting blown by in the first place. It was amazing blocks. It was really great at transition defense, and that's something this team has to improve on from last year. One of the things that Dan has talked about is they have to be a better transition defense team. It's not just the half court stuff. So they look better in transition defense, but on ball defense from the wings, I mean, it's just New Haven was able to get wherever they wanted. And that's kind of the concern. It's game 1, down a couple starters, but I also thought to some degree we got as great as Malachi Smith looked in the BC game and was solid in the Michigan State game tonight. We saw the poor game, and I'm excited for him as a player, but this has been kind of the book on him throughout his college career. Is just there are some nights, man, where it's just really bad, and in terms of like being a lead guard, bad, and defensively tonight and he was not the only culprit, but it was pretty rough.
I thought it was bad all over. I thought he was out of control on offense, trying to do too much. Just the general facilitation of the offense tonight I thought was poor. And nothing, they had maybe one, I don't know. I probably could count on one hand the times that I felt like they really ran an offensive set cleanly tonight. And there were certainly guys getting lost on certain actions. You could see it. Like this is not, and this is the other thing too. Like I just want to be really careful when I'm saying this here too, because like I've said this a million times all summer. You know, installing a point guard, let alone two, let alone three, if you want to count Melinda in there, into an offense, particularly as complex as ours is going to be a work in progress. So it's not going to look super sleek and slick right off the bat. But this one's a bear. I mean, this is an offense that's a little different than what Texas was running a couple of years ago. So there's a lot of touch and feel that they got to kind of figure out. And I thought it looked okay. It was in and out against BC. I thought it looked pretty good against Michigan State. Tonight it was not good. And, even though they ended up scoring, 79 points tonight, you look at this box score, like this is probably what you would want a UConn box score look like on a good night. But watching that live in real time, what they did tonight's not going to cut it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, this happens against BYU, or Arizona, who I'm just not going to do this again with these sons of bitches.
Yes.
But man, oh man, what you can't deny is Arizona in November is quite the animal. I'll tell you.
What are your thoughts on God bless him? What are your thoughts on the Koa Pete versus Eric Riva match?
I watched about 5 minutes of that. I'm like, I don't know who's guarding him on this team. I don't know what the matchup is going to be at all.
No. The good news is I don't know who's guarding him in college basketball. So
yeah. Oh, I don't know. Nobody. I mean, that was fucking wild. But anyways, we'll worry about him when we get there. But this is, again, not enough for me to like be concerned. Again, I saw enough in the Michigan State game where I feel pretty good about where they were at, just
right
with the fouling and like I said, even with the fouling, then like it was more competitive. It was on ball. And look, tonight, like they got a lot of hands in the face tonight. And New Haven just made a lot of shots tonight. Like the slides weren't terrible. The help defense left a little to be desired, I thought, at times tonight, particularly from Jaden and Jalen, and definitely Hariba.
Yeah,
that's his blind spot right now. That's what needs work. But I don't also want to get too lost in the sauce when they were hitting all sorts of crazy nonsense tonight, and it just is what it is. And getting yourself over anxious about what you saw last year. But again, like you don't see that Michigan State game. I'm kind of liking these preseason games for my mental health.
Exactly. That's where I was going to go with
this. I'm sure the staff is too. Like, yeah, you don't want to buy into preseason games, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm seeing a lot of similarities from preseason games to what we're kind of seeing on the court with a lot of teams right now. And it's definitely a much better, more controlled environment. You can kind of see it. And they've done it against a much better high major team in Michigan State. So, as much as that team's going to struggle offensively, and they had a whale of a night tonight too, by the way. Also, an abominable offensive night was Houston. They were special tonight.
That's another, and Houston's a team that's installing like 3 high-end freshmen.
Yeah.
Like I said it on our preview. They could lose 4 games this month. It won't change the way I feel about them when it matters because it's going to be rough at the start, but their coach is going to get them there. And that's the way I think about it with this UConn team. I think it might be rough a little bit at the start, especially with the heavy schedule, but you have to trust the staff that they're going to get them there. I mean, they saw the issues last year. You mentioned the preseason games being great for the mental health because that's, if you want to be the positive aspect, it is the 3rd game. It's the only one that counts, but we saw them against a high major team and an on paper high major team.
Really a Division III team.
I have to check to see if they won at Florida Atlantic, by the way, tonight. A game that was on ESPNU for some reason. But so you have those 3 games, right? So as disappointing as a lot of tonight was, you can still go, well, against Michigan State and BC, it looked better. If tonight was tonight and we hadn't seen them in the preseason games, this place would melt. The UConn Twitter would be in a very bad place right now.
Yes.
Let's be honest. It shouldn't be, but it would be. We know what it would be, right? So that's why, as down as we are a little bit right now, I'm also trying, they're going to look at tape. They're going to get fixed. They won by 24. So I feel like what we've seen in the last two games was this team operating at two different extremes defensively. And there is such a gap between the two of those places they have been that there's a lot of room to make this better, to not be committing 54 fouls or to be committing none and getting a free throw advantage, but not stopping anything. So we'll see. And, it's going to really help getting Terrence back because as much as I like a lot of what we've seen out of Eric Ryba, tonight was just such a weird matchup for him too, as I said, but also, he can't 18 minutes and one rebound. Like one of the issues last year, God bless him, was, if Samson Johnson got 5 rebounds in the game, it felt like it was a national holiday. And that can't be the case with Eric Ryba this year. Like he's undersized, but he's got to be able to, it's got to be more than what we saw tonight.
Yeah, I thought he just had a terrible game tonight. I got dragged away from the hoop a lot. I mean, he's not going to see any of that. The thing is, like, I think the front court stuff I'm not nearly as concerned with because, number one, you've also got Chroma there who, is as much of an adventure as Dwayne can be offensively at times. Dude can rebound. Dude can defend a little bit.
Yeah.
And play aggressive. Like I said, he's got 5 fouls to give. So, if Eric's having an off night, it's nice to know that that's there. But like Dwayne Chroma's not going to play 22 minutes, maybe ever again this season. And, Ryba's going to be, he was at 18 tonight. He's probably going to be more in the 12 to 15 range, So like I'm not particularly, Ryba, looked like a freshman tonight. We've seen some flashes where he looks really great. We've seen a lot of freshman-y things from him. Chroma and Ryba are so far down my list of things that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Coming out of this game. It certainly didn't help. Would have been nice to have had better rim protection. Well, our large guards are getting walked down. But yeah, I'm not overly concerned with that. I think Terrace will also help considerably, assuming Terrace can also stay out of foul trouble. So,
and healthy, obviously. And I do want to give a shout out to Wayne Caroma and the fact that, he played in the league that New Haven's in last year. You should expect him to be able to play well against that team. That was the type of competition he was going against that got him to UConn in the first place. I'd argue a higher level because New Haven was in the Division II Elite Eight 2 years ago. And I can tell you factually, the Division II Elite Eight teams are better than the teams in the NEC. You just don't think they are because the D1, D2 team, but those teams can play. That doesn't mean UConn shouldn't play better tonight. It's just that label can really warp what your opinion is of it. Like the New Haven's been a very good D2 team for a couple of years, and hopefully, tonight isn't their highlight of the year. They can't, of course, make the NCAA tournament for a few years because of the stupid, upgrade rules. But we should be a little positive. Sorry, I have on the BYU Villanova game and I have it on mute and I don't know what they're doing to Andy Katz right now. But the UNLV School of Medicine is giving him a pacemaker or something. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, that distracted me. We should speak positively about a 24-point win of the guards in that I thought they did a much better job of looking to drive. Now, they didn't always finish, but I thought, especially in the first half, when the 3-point shot wasn't really going down for this UConn team, they were only 4 for 12 from 3. I really liked what I saw out of Solo and Alex driving the lane, trying to create something off the ball.
Yeah, I think they're kind of, and that's the question mark coming into this year, right? Like, who is going to be the release valve, right? Like, who's going to be that dynamic guy that can kind of go make a play when the offense gets, you get deep into the shot clock, offense breaks down a little bit. Seeing a little bit more of that from Solo has been good. I guess the thing that stunk about Solo tonight is he just did not have a good shooting night from 3. It was a 3 for 10. Not great.
Yeah. Look, they played 3 games and he's struggled to shoot from 3 in all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that will come. I'm confident that will come, but it's a thing now, or it has been a thing so far, I should say. But at least you want to see him have the ability to when the shot isn't going down, be willing to put his head down and drive into traffic, because that's the thing this team just didn't really have last year outside of Liam going on a heater.
Yeah, and I mean, it's I thought, all things considered, they did a better job tonight of trying to get to the free throw line a little bit. They actually shot great from the free throw line tonight, 17 for 20.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
They shot 20 free throws, and New Haven shot 14.
yeah. So it's just unusual for us, but
Yeah.
it's usually the other way around. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a night where, like, I think depending on what I would just probably surmise, I would probably wrap the last 3 games up as, like, if you were looking for something with this team, you probably found it. Good and bad. So it'll be on to UMass Lowell on Friday night. When's our tip for that?
7:30.
7:30 tip
7:30 in Hartford.
at the People's Arena.
Yes.
And we'll
So
see what it looks. We'll see what it looks like then.
Yeah, I also got my Alec Millender knockdown corner 3. So yeah, we really have seen everything you could see in these 3 games. So, yes, he was. And for those we've been wondering about this, and granted they're down injuries, UConn went 9 deep tonight. So effectively 8 deep, because Alec only played 5 minutes. I guess before we bring folks in, the last thing we should hit on, Silas, not specifically, not a great night, finished with 4 fouls. Just looked like struggled passing. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm hoping it's just an off night, but this is a complicated offense. They are, not because of him or his struggles, that by their own admission, they want to kind of turn it into a little less orchestrated, drawn up plays with 3 cuts. They do want to be a little more, free it up for a little more creativity this year. And I do think that plays some role in, you watch UConn the last 3 years, and it's, the YouTube dream and all these magnificent cuts. And like the coaching staff has said, it's not going to be that anymore. But it's still, when you see it and it isn't happening, it can make it look worse. Like it's by design to some degree.
Yeah, he's the one guy, like, he's got so much leash with me. The first month and a half, just to figure some things out. And it's got to be a little touch and feel too. He missed the Boston College game. He was out for a little while with some injury. Like, I'm giving that guy a ton of grace to try to figure things out. Even when you're in, without sort of the new wrinkles where they're trying to let guys, I think, freestyle a little bit more. It's still a egregiously complex offense to learn. And so much of it is touch and feel and reads, and I don't think you can ever pick this stuff up fast enough. But it's going to take a little while, and it might take a little while longer than what people are totally comfortable with. But, call me in January, February, where we're at with him and what this one looks like. He's the guy that I'm not, unless turnovers are a real big thing, which so far they haven't. I think he had 1 tonight.
Yeah.
I am not losing my marbles on that. His body control is fantastic. Like, that's where you really see a lot of similarities with Newton, and he's got a great first step, gets in a lane, under control. Like, his rim finishing for the most part is pretty good. I think he just needs to be a little bit more decisive, and, that's going to take some time and some burn, and, him figuring things out, making some mistakes. But, like, he's the one guy that, I'm going to give him a lot of leash.
He's doing this without, Terrace Reed or Braylon Mullins. So missing a couple of pretty key weapons there. I'm sure he'll be fine. This is ultimately a team that is incorporating basically three new point guards at once. So, but Rick told us that doesn't matter. So maybe it'll be easy because point guards aren't real.
Maybe. We'll see. They scored 104 tonight against Quinnipiac. Or is it 108?
I had it open. But I'm just so, I almost nailed Marist. I was right there. Yeah, it was 108, by the way. Yeah, they beat Quinnipiac 108-74. I was right there on it. That was more of a Xavier call. I may strongly be considering them for the basement of the Big East, but it is night one. They may finish last, and Arizona is going to win the national championship. Those are the only two things we learned tonight. So,
dare I say, DePaul looks serviceable tonight.
Congratulations to you.
Incredible. All right, should we let the wieners whine?
I think we should.
Hot dog, the UConn Huskies season is here. And the good folks at Martin Roll Souls are here to help keep you fueled so you can keep foot on gas throughout the year. Hot dogs, kielbasa sausage, deli meats, you name it. Not only can you grab what you need for the big game at their retail store at 45 Grove Street in New Britain, they'll even bring the meats to you and ship them across the country. That's Martin Roll Souls, the official sponsor of the Connecticut Basketball Spaces Wiener Weiner Line. Folks, it's time to get to the meat of tonight's show. And by that, we mean the Martin Roll Souls Wiener Weiner Line. We'll be taking calls and check-ins here for the next hour. So if you want to go ahead and queue up, please be our guest. All right, going to bring some folks in here.
And while you do, I want to shout out our while you get the folks lined up, I want to thank again the folks at Store Central. We're thrilled to be partnered up with them. And this afternoon, they gave us the heads up that they had the Loge box, so I was happy to hook some folks up with some pretty primo seats. Although I am now realizing, Hot Balls, I've sat in that Loge box twice, and it's been two of the most unwatchable games at Gamble. So maybe I need to stay away.
How was it tonight, living in the lap of luxury? Did you feed people grapes like they were Roman emperors, or what?
I did not hand feed grapes. They were having trouble with the orders with the Wi-Fi in there, but I mean, what else is new? Dan Hurley was even joking about the Wi-Fi post game, so we're officially doing a full on bid. No, I want to thank. It was great to see Ethan, Mal, Mary came down, but also a lot of other folks. It was like the first day of elementary school after summer camp.
Yeah.
Seeing deceased local justice, seeing Jared Kotler, seeing Meg Bard and Mom Bard, which was great. Alex, a lot of other people swung by, which was great. Chris Grassi came by and let me yell at him about the stripe out and the hockey jerseys, which was nice of him. It was just great seeing everybody. Ghost Mike being back in the building. And I'm extremely wet though. It was a lot of rain outside of me.
Did you get rained on? It did not look like it was a very friendly weather there after the game.
That was the weirdest part in some ways of the night. That weird game ended and then everybody was like just standing under the big concrete overhangs, like staring at because that's not whether you interact with during college basketball season. That doesn't come up. And eventually it was like, oh, I got to get to my car. So I just trudged along and swam my way home.
I gotta say, Andrea Sweet is in mid-season form already. Just a 5-tool hater if there ever was one. I gotta give her credit.
Crown-bound
with a killer tweet of tonight about the rain. So shout out to her on a masterpiece of a tweet, I thought. If you're into the hating kind of thing. So, all right, let's get these people talking. Mike Werner, you're up first, man. What do you want?
Oh, wow. Happy holidays to those who celebrate first day of college basketball. Oh, I'll be fast. I don't know how many people are around.
That 8 a.m. Queens game, I was absolutely vibrating.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering, did you actually wake up and watch it? I know you mentioned that.
Oh, no, absolutely. I work from home, so I just have it on on the iPad. I absolutely watched it. Yes.
How much of a catastrophe was that?
It was less of a catastrophe broadcast-wise in their second game. No, it was actually a pretty good game. Back and forth between Queen, and the smart thing they did was it was in Rock Hill, South Carolina, but they played Winthrop was in the game, which is located in Rock Hill, but it wasn't at their gym. So at 8 a.m., the gym was packed full of Winthrop fans making a lot of noise. As Husky Hops knows, it's actually the real fan base in the Big South is Winthrop, not High Point. So they actually had a great atmosphere for 8 a.m. And then for the second game, there was nobody in the building at 11:30 a.m. for St. Bonaventure and Bradley.
Except for Woj. I saw some rando picture of Woj.
Yes, because there was a hoax went around that said he had gotten ejected when the stream was out. That did not occur. He was not ejected.
Why?
I love how that went around.
That was
Can
fun
you
to deal with.
believe?
Sorry, I know I have a turn, but that was just fun to deal with this morning.
Can you believe that those reporters so many reporters got angry about that? I thought that was fantastic. If I was Woj and I saw that, and he probably got a text in the athletic department, be like, "Yeah, dude, did you just get pitched from the game?" It was probably no.
We have somebody on the line here. Sorry, Mike. Jake had to get an official statement.
It was one of those things where when I saw the tweet, and I'll make this very quick so that we can get back to Mike. When I saw the tweet, I was like, there is no way that this is from a real person. I scrolled to the very first tweet that this account sent, and it was November 8th of 2024. And then the second tweet that they ever sent was this October 29th. And I was instantly a fake account. And so I was I'm not going to interact. I'm not even going to think about it. And then 30 minutes later, I'm just scrolling through my timeline and I'm not going to name who it is, but I just see a U.S. Capitol reporter who's got hundreds of thousands of followers making a comment about it, and I'm like, all right, if we don't have people doing what they're supposed to do, then I'm just gonna ask. The worst thing that I can do is ask. So I emailed the St. Bonaventure SID a question. Within 10 minutes, he comes back to me with a statement, which I've posted on my account. And then I want to say maybe 15, 20 minutes after that, Ryan Glass-Steagall from Front Office Sports apparently went over or got in contact with Jeff Goodman while he was on the air and asked him if Woj got tossed, and then Goodman told him, no, obviously not. So it's just incredibly funny that we get day one of the college basketball season and we already have a Centel, which is...
So I was going to say, we didn't even get 4.5 hours into the season. We've already got our first online mayhem of the year.
Our first PCBC of the year.
There
Absolutely.
Woj should have gotten kicked out
mute
on
myself
principle
so that
after
Mike can get back on and say what he has to say. But that was just a very, very interesting morning and afternoon for me.
Thank you, Jake, for that. Mike, I know we took a wild diversion there. You asked about opening day, but kind of what were your thoughts in general?
Oh, it's all good. I honestly didn't expect to go until later, but my big thing is I don't know why everybody's so doom and gloom. It's the first day of the season, things could have been better, but things could have been a lot worse as well. We're going to get Reed back. I mean, you guys have already touched on a lot of this stuff. I'm not really worried about today. I am a little worried about, Malachi is kind of the guy I'm worried about the most in terms of just this single game. Just because he really didn't produce much of anything. He had an offensive rating of 82. I don't know. I mean, if he's not causing some havoc defensively, causing turnovers, he did have 4 assists, which was nice. I think that was definitely best among the bench, but, overall, I'm not really too worried about the team. I will say, watching BYU and Villanova, Nova gives me some strong, Mike Bray, early 2010s Notre Dame vibes, Ben Hansborough, really slow, methodical. They definitely don't play with pace, but, BYU is also a defense optional team too. So, I don't know. We'll see how things go in the next couple weeks, getting Terrace Reed and such, but, hot balls, I will say, Koa Pete, don't do it, man. I mean, that he might go number 1 in the draft. He might just usurp everyone.
I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try this year.
Can't wait.
Hands off Arizona.
That was hard. It's hard.
Mike, to your point, it could be worse. We have our first holy shit result of the season. It has just ended in Boise. Boise State, 53rd on KenPom. Preseason 3rd in the Mountain West. But they were no match tonight at home for the Sea Warriors of Hawaii Pacific University. Warriors. Hawaii Pacific 79, Boise State 78.
Good Lord. Oh, wait, Auburn. So talk about defensive issues. They gave up a 3-pointer to Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, they fouled the guy from 70 feet to force OT with Bethune-Cookman. So that's going exactly the way we all predicted so far.
Yeah.
And
Could be worse, guys. Could be worse.
And speaking of things we could have predicted, in overtime, Florida Atlantic 83, Boston College 78. So there you go.
Yeah, that was close. But I know I'm sure there's a bunch of people coming around, but let's have a great season, guys. Keep your heads up.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
We will try. We'll maintain the positivity, as always, especially Hurley Mania.
Captain,
always positive about
Captain
everything.
Positive over here.
It's uplifting. Thanks a lot, Mike. Cash Fraud, how are you this evening?
Doing okay. I didn't watch the game live for the first time, but I actually did just watch it on YouTube. So
was it because it was an ESPN Plus thing, or you just were indisposed?
Yeah, so I thought because I would have used my brother's ESPN Plus, but he just recently canceled it, which I didn't know, and I was like, all right, well, I'm not paying $13 and spending all this time setting it up to watch the only UConn game of the season. Like if they had another game, I would have done it, but
yeah, it's between the men and the women, it's the only ESPN Plus game.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I actually watched it on YouTube. So if my takes seem a little different or whatever, it's probably just because I wasn't as angry watching because I already knew the result and the anger fuels me.
Fair.
But I wasn't. I was expecting to be more displeased, like watching the box score, than I actually was watching the game. I didn't think it was like they definitely did some dumb things and played sloppy at times, but it wasn't overall as bad. Like I remember thinking last year watching this team play Texas, what was it, East Texas A&M, like right before they went to Maui.
Yeah.
And that was the first game for me. That was like, that was a shit show. Like, but this game, I didn't get that. I think what happened was New Haven made a lot of tough shots throughout the whole game, but particularly in the first half, and UConn couldn't finish anything at the rim and wasn't shooting particularly great from three. And then to come out in the second half, UConn got like sped up. Like they tried to make it all up at once. And they did that for probably the entire first half of the second half. And then they kind of settled back down and were like, okay, well, we can't score 30 points in one possession, so we should probably start playing basketball again.
Yeah, I think once this team it really did feel like if just a couple of those prayers didn't go in for New Haven in the first half, and if UConn just finished at the rim, I mean, it was rim finishing, a lot of it. They would get to the rim and the layup would go up, and they had a couple that spun out weirdly, and they had done all the hard stuff. I just, on another night, those go down, and maybe we feel more positive about this because it's very rare you're going to get a night where a team's hitting 20 unassisted baskets against you. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys both sort of seemed like I didn't think Radwood did anything that like was too egregious. I think he had like a lot of things just break against him tonight, so it like looked bad. But I don't know. I didn't watch. I would have to look at it closer, but
he's also a freshman. It's his third game. Like it's a weird matchup. This is part of the territory. There's going to be nights like this. So he'll learn from it, I'm sure. And it also, the reason you focus on it is because without Terrace in the lineup, it stands out more, and that's why I think to some degree, as impressed as I am by Dwayne Caroma, that's also why we're probably overinflating what we've seen so far. Like, well, those are the options they have right now.
And for like, I hadn't seen that in either of the exhibitions, but Dwayne, like, he was like caught in like some drop coverage situations tonight in the first half, and he looked so uncomfortable playing like drop. Like I would rather him just get up and guard and just trust that you're going to have help defense, because he looked very uncomfortable in drop, and guys were just sort of Euro stepping around him.
It feels weird watching him play drop and not Eric Ryba, but it's also November 3rd. So
yeah,
we'll see. And just praying for Terrace's hamstrings because it makes the whole thing look a lot better, I think. And I I will say this, Hot Balls. I thought it was wild there was any thought of Terrace Reed playing in this game. Like, struck me as a complete waste of time. I'm glad he didn't play. It sounds like he's getting better. He's practiced 4 straight days, Dan said post-game. So he has practiced 4 straight games, and it's strictly he's listening to the medical guys on it. They told him he couldn't play tonight, so he didn't play tonight. Maybe we see him Friday. Hopefully, I want to see him Friday just to see that he's back. But they also need to take their time with this because it's a hamstring. You don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm less worried about the injury itself and just he's too important of a piece right now to them being successful. And I think every game we play, that becomes more and more apparent.
Yeah.
And, the last thing you want to do is have him go out and re-aggravate it. And, most irresponsible thing to do would be to roll him out there for 5 minutes against New Haven and have that be when he gets hurt, right? So I think they'll play at touch and feel this week. I would be surprised to maybe see him get a little burn against UMass Lowell and kind of get more extended minutes against Columbia because there's going to be kind of a quick turnaround there. Mm-hmm. Play Columbia when? Monday? So it's like 2 days.
Monday. Columbia is Monday night at Gamble.
Yeah, and then they have some time off after that before BYU next Saturday, which feels crazy to say, by the way. Yeah. That has come so much faster this year. So, they'll have another, 4 days to kind of figure it out with him. So I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't think they're going to roll him out there day one against BYU. But I think that's kind of the hope when you've got him fully into the rotation, starting, getting Terrace Reed minutes. That'd be my guess.
Yeah. And you guys brought this up too, but yeah, Silas had some bad straight line drives tonight. And maybe Hurley touched on it that he was trying too hard not to foul.
Yeah, but he touched on that, and also the fact he was really upset with not anyone specifically. I think this came out of frustration because this was a specific sort of issue last year, in that guys right-handed, don't funnel him to his right hand. Supposed to push him the other way. These are basic schematic things that just aren't sinking in for certain members of this group. It seemed like Dan said, but also he didn't sound overwhelmingly concerned. Maybe just a little frustrated that part's still a thing. And I think that was mostly his concern with it. It was all just straight line stuff. And yeah, there's a mile between what they did against Michigan State physically and what they did tonight, which was kind of sagging back. And I don't know if it was because of the opponent or what, but they'll watch tape and they'll have enough of these games now to hopefully calibrate it in time for Boston.
And I'm not worried about that with Silas being a long-term issue because we know he has the quickness and the strength to not let that happen. It's just, I don't know if he was just caught off guard tonight or just was overplaying something, or I don't know.
I mean, most of the starters looked like they were a little bit in the fog tonight. It definitely looked like a team playing their first official regular season game of the year tonight. So, I'm not going to chalk it up too much. Silas can defend. It's very good. It's a big part of his reputation coming in here, and that's why they brought him in. So, because he's a very, very, very good perimeter defender. But, just a lot of loosey-goosey, stuff that, again, it's tonight just felt like a relapse more than anything with this group defensively. And part of it, was just exacerbated by the fact that New Haven hit a lot of weird shit tonight. So
yeah,
I don't want to get too out over my skis on it.
I'll just say one more thing, going back to what I was saying about the team just sort of trying, pressing too much, trying to make it all up at once. I don't think that it's a coincidence that it was opening night and that they were probably all amped up, but I don't think it's a coincidence that two of your most experienced guys like Alex Caravan and Alec Millender had some of the best analytics on the night in response to that.
Yeah, one of the things I was thinking about driving up this tonight, Hot Balls, was about how most of the last 3 months of last season was just every game. It was just the national, like, oh, so these guys aren't as good as we thought, and here's everything that's wrong. And tonight was great because it was a chance to like reset. They've got the top 5 ranking, and everyone thinks they're a really good team, and I still do. But it was nice for them to go out there, and I thought it was going to be nice to go out there and in general to play without having to think about any of last year's stuff because it doesn't matter anymore. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this team adjusts to that and gets to create their own identity here over the next couple of weeks, especially when the schedule picks up.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be an ongoing thing. I mean, you've got a completely new backcourt right now, and a bunch of really important pieces that are brand new guys, and it's going to take a little while to get things to fully mesh. And, I think they're also, we were talking about Dan, I think being a little bit more, liberal with this group in terms of kind of letting them play basketball on their own a little bit and be a little bit more creative. And, some of that might look a little ugly earlier on, but as they start to kind of get that feel for what it is they need to do over the course of the season, I think things will start coming together pretty well. And the talent here is, I think, pretty obvious on this group. I kind of want to see Terrace is going to be huge because I am a little worried about the physicality of this group overall. Because they like really bang with like a big, strong, aggressive team. I don't know. I feel like I might be getting over my skis a little bit on this, but I haven't been blown away by our overall athleticism yet.
Well, one mitigating factor in that is the lack of Braille and Mullins specifically.
Yeah, overall, but like this isn't a it could explode. I mean, there's a lot of really key pieces here. It's not, with the exception of Solo, there's not a lot of like explosive guys here. That dynamic could change significantly again when you get your 2 starters back. It's kind of important. But there was a thing that I've kind of got my antennas up about here a little bit early on. It's going to be that. But really outside of that, I mean, like I said, I don't want to get too out over our skis after the first game. You also have your first game jitters and stuff like that. Like, this is a whole other thing playing here, and this is a team that's got a lot to prove. That seems to be kind of the narrative, right? That the program's sort of embracing in here. And tonight just felt like they were pressing a little too much in some areas, being a little bit too passive in others, and really just trying a little bit too hard to kind of thread the needle, sort of letting the game come to them a little bit tonight. And, they're only going to get better here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Although they could take a couple of lumps along the way.
At least for me, like watching that game, I could, like, you can easily draw the dots and say like, oh, this is how they get to that 40-point win that we all expected.
Right. And I mean, if they take their lumps against the BYU or in Arizona, it's not Dayton and Colorado. So, the schedule's drastically different. But yeah, you can see the construction makes sense. You can see the pieces are there. I mean, tonight they played, 9 guys despite missing 3 guys that are critical here to what they're trying to do. Well, at least 2 are critical, and one's going to get minutes, and they were still able to get it out. And that's something that they obviously could not have endured last year. So we'll see. That's the other reason to be careful about getting too far out over your skis is, let's see what it looks like hopefully with everybody, but, at least the 2 starters back. And the key's going to be, not getting more injuries also. Don't forget this could go unfortunately it can go that way too. And hopefully it doesn't. And I don't think it will, but that's something else we're going to have to keep in mind here is at least in this part of the schedule too, there's enough space between most of these games where, recovery time will be critical. At least they've got that long week leading into the game in Boston, where they play on Monday and then they're off until the Saturday, at TD Garden. So that's at that point, I mean, you're not going to have Braylon Mullins back at that point, obviously, although Dan is hinting that he is healing very well. But at the time of the BYU game, it'll basically have been 3 weeks. So hopefully he can come back too, because I think Braylon provides, in addition to being a great scorer, I think his length on the perimeter gives this team more of a defensive chance out there. I mean, he's not a great, I don't expect him to be a great perimeter defender, but this is a team that just needs somebody to go out there and just be adequate. Like Hot Balls is what we said. This doesn't have to be a top 10 defensive team. Got to be top 30 though. Top 50.
Yeah, I mean, if they want any chance of being like a second weekend Final Four team, they got to be in the top 30. That's where it's got to be. Period. End of discussion. I'm not too worried about the offense. I think it's going to continue to get better, as the year goes along. I'm not sure I've ever been as confident in a team, as an offensive unit as I am in this team heading into a season in terms of what I think they're going to give us. But it's going to be the defense, man. That's what it's going to look like. We're not a full roster yet. Some things I really like, some things I haven't really liked so far. But I think, we'll see how things continue to progress here. BYU and Arizona in particular are going to be very, very unique challenges for them.
It's going to be an interesting week with those two. Yeah, that you can't wait. You're all in. You believe once again.
I can't wait to meet BYU fans.
Oh God. Yeah, will Mr. Hopballs be alive or out of incarceration for the Arizona home game on Wednesday, November 19th? Tune in to find out.
Pretty much. Thank you, Cash Fraud. Appreciate it. Going to move on to Husky Hops, man. What do you got for us, brother?
I wasn't going to jump in because I didn't catch much of the game tonight. I was in Rock Hill.
Yeah.
But I did catch it a little bit to, maybe not speak intelligently, but at least offer in. But, Hurley Mania rage baiting me to jump in and defend my fan base. I have to do it now. So here I am.
Look, there's nothing wrong with being the second best fan base in the Big South.
If we had a game in our backyard too, that'd be nice. We could hand out 500 Bojangles biscuits. How about that?
I'm mostly just envious of that deal. I'll level with you to that. The
That was
High Point
sweet.
Panthers, a dominant opening day win though.
Oh, it was sweet, man. This team's going to be so good. It was just incredible to watch, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I did catch a little bit of the game, mostly second half stuff because the signal was not great, but I think everyone's kind of raised similar concerns already, but I don't know, just look a little sluggish out the gate, and I guess that can be expected with first real game jitters, and maybe things don't click right away as well as they should. Like I think I checked early on, and it was. We hadn't quite pulled away, so it was kind of like stuck in the mud a little bit. You're down Terrace, you're down Braylon Mullins, and Furphy got injured too, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was earlier in the week. I sort of missed that. I was sad to see that. What?
Twisted, turned ankle. So
yeah, took a bad bump off the top of the ladder through a stack of tables in practice, so he's out.
Sold it like a television channel.
I see. Yeah, so, it sucks to not have him either. So, these first few will kind of be what they'll be. But, otherwise, towards the end, it looked like they got it a little bit better once they got more into the flow. But, it's what we have it for, right? That's what we have these kind of openers for. And Alex looks good, I guess. And, yeah, I don't know. But glad to catch at least a little bit of it in the midst of the drubbing.
Yeah, we probably should, Hot Balls, take a moment to appreciate Alex Caravan, who had I thought a really great second half, especially.
Wow, this is rich coming from you.
Yeah.
4 for 5 from the field in the second half, 8 of 10 rebounds. Spectacular.
That is shameless.
Known winner.
That is shameless.
Yeah.
He had 19 and 10. No turnovers, 32 minutes. I appreciate the best player on the team.
Oh my God.
I hope someday you can too.
It's good you've never wavered in your belief. This is good.
Never. Not once.
Yeah. Oy. Well, again, I didn't, don't want to hog too much airtime, but I'll have more insightful and hopefully, better insights. I could talk about HPU basketball, but I won't do that because this is not their show. So, I'll be back later in the season. But good to be back. Good to be back with everyone. All the degenerates on an 11 o'clock on a Monday night.
The best. I mean, the end of a long day, full engagement with the sport we love.
Sure was. All right. Well, I'll catch you guys some other time, but good to talk to you.
Say hi to
Talk
Yusuf for us.
Oh, he was, yes. I'm so sorry. I should have mentioned he he played. He played a little bit. I tweeted out. I'll send it. I don't know. I'll post it somewhere here. But he got in. He played a little bit and kind of, got called for some ticky-tack fouls. Wasn't very nice of the officials to do that. So didn't appreciate they're doing that there. But no, he looked fine. I think, just I don't know if we're gonna have as much of a role for him as I would have liked, but he looked okay.
No, nothing but the best for Yusuf. It's a great spot to be in and be right in contention for an NCAA tournament spot, I'm sure. And
he was rocking the headband.
Purple, probably.
It's white. We're in the home whites tonight.
Oh, okay. That purple headband's going to be electric, though.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'll be sure to send pictures. But, if I ever get to talk to him, I'll let him know that everyone sends their love. I haven't gotten to do it yet, but best believe it's on my list. So I'll get that opportunity at some point.
You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you, Husky Hops. Appreciate you.
I do my best. All right. Talk to y'all later.
All right. We're going to get to some more Wieners Weiner in here in just a second. But, folks, if you want to talk about a Connecticut-based business, nothing comes close to Martin Roll Souls. Since 1928, Martin Roll Souls has been feeding cranky Husky fans all over Connecticut and beyond. Hot dogs, sausages, kielbasa's, and deli meats. They have everything we need to keep jerks like Hurley Mania fed, quiet, and if they didn't threaten to pull their sponsorship over it, even a place to frankly just leave them. But I promise we wouldn't do that to them. That's Martin Roll Souls at 45 Grove Street in New Britain, the official sponsor of Connecticut Basketball Spaces, Weiner Line. All right. Moving on down the list. Megan Bard, how are you? Long time no speak.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
I'm watching Villanova smash basketballs off of a backboard repeatedly.
Yeah, they're resetting their offense in ways I hadn't considered prior to this last hour.
I mean, woof, guys. The Big East it's a rough night.
Well, listen. Xavier got the win, okay?
And we appreciate that. Things are tough night all around.
Yeah, what were your takeaways other than that was a lot of water?
It was so wet. I walked to the car with my bomber jacket on my head because it was just torrential downpour. I have to tell you, so I went to the game with my mom, as you know, because you saw her. We are walking up Hillside, and we end up amongst this group of guys from New Haven, fully looped. Love that for them.
Yeah.
Free tickets. They got a free coach bus ride. New Haven threw some money at it to send a bunch of guys. They were so excited to be there. They were like, "We're gonna get dumped, but it's gonna be great." And I hope they had a wonderful night.
Yeah, they came out. I mean, they showed out, and it does make sense when you remember that the University of New Haven is the first institution to receive approval to open international branch campus in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So the money is there.
That's the thing.
Has arena campus.
What if New Haven becomes like the next big NIL giant, right?
Do you think then people will learn how to say New Haven correctly?
That or Rigia, which I can't pronounce correctly. They'll get one of the two right. If this leads to a Pepe's opening in Saudi Arabia, I think that's kind of the end of American Empire. But
Pepe's?
Probably.
You mean Pepe's?
And then a Pepe's, yeah.
Someone from New Haven's going to hit you with a bus for pronouncing it like that, just to be clear.
No,
they're very clear. It's Pepe's, not Pepe's. My God. We're doing a lesson on this. It's New Haven, not New Haven. It's Pepe's, not Pepe's. What are we doing here? Are you from Connecticut or not?
New Haven.
Every time someone says New Haven, I can feel the skin all over my body just cringing.
You're in a very corrective mood tonight, Megan.
It drives me insane. It drives me insane. But anyway. There was a basketball game tonight. It happened.
It did.
Some guys play basketball. I kind of wonder how much of that tonight was like a little bit of come down from playing Michigan State. Obviously, you're going to get way more up than you are for New Haven's very first Division I basketball game. And coming on daylight savings, everybody's all out of sorts. There was a lot of bunnies that got missed, is what I'm saying. A lot of bunnies, and I feel like if they made like half of those bunnies, we'd all feel a lot differently about this game.
Yeah, if they make 5 or 6 of the layups, and if New Haven misses 5 or 6 of the fadeaway 14-footers, this looks different.
Man, like watching those go in, it's like, what do you even say about that guy making that shot? Like, what do you even do with that?
Yeah, it's the sort of shot you want them to take. Those are the ones I'm not as concerned about.
No,
but
no, the layups, the straight drive to the rim is really my concern. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're kind of also, and I don't want to overstate this, but a bunch of guys who are supposed to be in the starting lineup either are hurt or have been hurt for like significant portions of the preseason. So they haven't all like had a chance to play together very much yet. Like Silas was injured for a while, and Braylon's been injured, and Terrace is injured. Like it's really hard to get into any kind of rhythm when you haven't played together.
Yeah,
and you're bringing in all these new guys.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's going to be an adjustment actually for Malachi and Silas is once they get Braylon back, it's going to be another person they have to get used to, and it sucks that the timetables didn't line up for the start of the season, but it's something that it's good for us to all keep that in mind, that this is a work in progress, and this is about March and hopefully April, not as much November. But it sucks because November there's some really cool games that you want to win too.
Yeah. I mean, though Arizona looked like they had a squeaker tonight.
I mean, it's a hell of a win, though. I mean, against the defending champs, co-op is a problem, Meg. Do not go watching that highlight video as the last thing before you go to bed.
I haven't had a chance to see it because obviously I was at the game and then driving home in a torrential downpour.
Yeah, I took 5 minutes to watch the highlights and I'm horrified. The only thing more terrifying,
that first half he had tonight might have been the best first half I've seen from a college freshman, maybe ever.
Wow.
And speaking of terrifying things, wow, AJ DeBance's dad is on national television. I can't believe it.
Right now?
Yeah, can't believe it. Ace DeBance making it all about him.
Yes, you can. You can believe that.
Yeah, no,
we can all believe that. Yeah, I will say I do want to. If there were like some positives, I think there were some positives in this game tonight. AK really did show up in the second half, and that was nice.
Yeah.
Especially making those shots from like 6 feet behind the line, which I know upsets No Escalators so much.
Also, it upsets Dan Hurley a lot, apparently. As well.
Yes, it's a good point. It is not just one broken brain member of UConn Twitter. This is the coaching staff that also would like him to stop doing it.
But he made him tonight. He made all of those stupid shots tonight. It was crazy.
Yeah, they hit those and then they missed 10 layups.
Well, Alex. I'm talking about Alex.
Oh, Alex specifically. No, he was great. And listen, I mean, post game, he's talking about needing to be a more vocal leader, and it's year 4. I mean, it kind of is what it is at this point. The way he played tonight, I'm good with that.
I mean, also, he's clearly talking constantly on the court. Like, I don't know how much more of a vocal leader he can be at this point.
Yeah, I think he's just being too hard on himself. And I know
I agree.
That.
I do too. And where are the other guys?
Yeah, exactly.
There's 3 juniors on this team that absolutely could step up and help contribute in that way and manner. I'm sure that they do. Yeah. But, he doesn't need to be, getting this hard on himself about that stuff.
Yeah, I think
right off the rip.
I think he maybe is just like filling the void, trying to explain it. And he's obviously not like the most outgoing guy, but like that is not. I don't think any of the issues that you saw tonight were Alex not being vocal enough. And like you said, listen, it's time for Solo and Jalen and Jaden to take a role here, man. It's year 3, and I think they will. I especially think that seems like something that Jalen is naturally inclined towards. Kind of a leadership role, especially defensively, and it'll be exciting. It's one of the fun things about college basketball. You get to see kids come out of their shells and become something different and something new. And that's, it's finally, we're going to hopefully this year see Jalen regularly as a 20, 25 minute a game guy night after night. It's a huge role that he hasn't had to fill yet or been able to fill, depending on how you want to evaluate it. And I'm excited to see how he grows into that as well, because I think he has all the tools to be a very vocal leader, and as does Sola.
And actually, in fairness, I thought Jay Ross actually gave us some nice minutes tonight, especially on defense. He did make shots tonight, but his defense was solid. He did have that stupid dunk.
He did. It reminded me of the East Texas A&M dunk last year, which was, if we're all honest, the high point of the season in terms of a fun play. But yeah, Jaden's got that ability to hammer on people. But honestly, one of the few tweets I could get up in the building was about Jaden Ross's defense. If he just can play good on-ball defense, that's all I need. That's it.
I thought he was really solid on defense tonight. I thought he and Stewie were brought a lot of energy, especially on defense, and that was really nice to see. But over two games, small sample size, but I've been really impressed with what we've seen from him so far.
I think they might, this is way out, but hot balls, they might be the key to winning some of these big games, because you need them to be able to impose themselves defensively. You need something at the wing defensively.
Well, and I also think too, one of the things that both of our championship teams had was that second string high energy defensive line where you'd go to the bench and there was no let up in terms of in some cases there was a step up in terms of intensity. So it's just you just keep throwing guys, at them. And I think we definitely have the personnel to do that. And if Jay Ross can come off the bench and give us, 12 minutes a game playing high energy on ball defense, that would be pretty sick.
It would be huge. It's like water in the desert right now. If these guys can get somebody who can just do that, that's all I need. That's all I need Jaden Ross to do. I'd love him to hit threes or whatever and, maybe chime in. It'd be great if he averaged 8 points a game. If he's a lockdown defender, he's not this, but if he can just do the Ricky Moore thing, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. That's all I need.
Just sprinkle in an occasional sick dunk and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Occasionally hit a corner three and dunk on somebody's head, and we're great. We're golden.
We're great.
We're ready to go.
I'll be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, I just figure between him and Jalen, somebody's going to figure it out I'm hoping almost every single game on the offensive end. A hard time seeing one of them not have, contributors workload, on the offensive end of things. And not really that worried about either of them too much defensively, but that's his thing. So, he just didn't take a lot of shots tonight, outside of the big dunk. I think he took 3 field goals?
He took 2 threes and had the hammer dunk. So
yeah, that's it.
He hangs around the perimeter, for lack of a better description, offensively. And I think he's also deferring to his teammates who he knows are more gifted offensive players. I actually kind of respect him for it. If he has identified his role, and they have, that it's a defensive priority first thing, but still have the confidence to take threes and hopefully make 30% of them. I'll settle for 30. Then they've got themselves a really solid player that they believe in. And I mean, we know the staff does, because they have been relentless with the minutes. He played 22 minutes tonight. So, which was fifth most on the team. So they're going to give him the spot, and somebody's got to take advantage of it. So between him and Jalen, if they can just get between Jalen and Jaden just some level of consistency, something, that's what allows this team to kind of take the next step. But it's going to take time because we haven't seen it yet. But it's, we're one game in.
Yeah. And, obviously getting Karras back is going to be a huge game changer. And you don't like to see 11 assists. It'd be nice to see more offense being run. There was a little too much let's just drive to the hoop and see if we can throw some circus shit up. And I'd like to see some more plays being run, like some more screens, things of that nature. Ryman needs to learn how to set the screen before he rolls off of
That
it.
was very funny. Thank you for bringing that up. That was maybe my highlight of the night.
You gotta stop moving for a second there. Then you go.
Yeah, anything with like a general pick and roll or like setting a screen and releasing too early, that's tough for Haribo right now.
I say this lovingly because this is such a freshman thing. Almost every freshman big does it. So he's going to be great at it, but it's adorable to watch. It's one of two things. It's either he sets the pick and then just blams into two guys, or he sets the pick, stays there and puts his hand up. It's like, you gotta move if you're going to put your hand up, but he'll learn it. It takes time. And he's been thrown off the deep end here early.
And I don't want to take away Dwayne Caroma with the star of the night play clearly tonight on his attempted layup on the baseline. And that was fucking awesome. I just started cackling. That amused me greatly.
I feel like there's something, Megan, in a Caroma Ryba like buddy cop comedy. I think there's something there. We'll work on the script.
We've got a language barrier situation. It could be great.
Yeah, very perfect strangers for.
Well, actually, no, there isn't. So apparently, Caroma, it's Caroma, I think, who's grew up on a military base in Germany.
Oh. This is tremendous.
Yeah. Even more interesting.
Yeah, no, this is in the
new information.
The episode thing. I gotta look at his bio.
Yeah, in Berlin.
99%. Yeah, he is Berlin, Germany, baby.
No shit.
That is his hometown. I cannot wait to talk
Bavaria.
about fried cheese with Dwayne Caroma.
They're like from different parts of Germany, but still very cool. I was unaware. Who knew?
We're all learning something tonight.
This is fascinating.
We're gonna go to the fort in Springfield and smash down some spatzel.
Man, I love spatzel. That shit's delicious. You ever had some Kaiserschmarrn?
No, yeah, that's good. But the fried Camembert cheese with mustard is really where it's at. That is a whole other basket of apples. I've seen some really messed up stuff, in people's families over the years, but nothing is worse than when my parents and my in-laws would converge on Springfield when my wife and I were at school there, and we'd go down to the fort and there would be like 17 orders of fried cheese. And it was just like a death match. No mercy. Like nobody's like saving the last like cheese piece for anybody. It's just you bring whatever weapons you got.
Bring what you can swing,
bat,
which also
wrenches,
describes
nail guns.
The last 7 minutes in Vegas here.
You put some tape on your fist, dip it in some egg, and then dip it in glass. Whatever it takes.
They also both played high school basketball in Maryland.
I was going to say, I've had enough of this. Eric Ribas from Potomac, calm down.
I mean,
he does speak German, though.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Also, we're talking about doing bits.
No, you're looking for bits. Great bit. I can't believe that, because you can totally see the staff go find another German guy that Eric can talk to.
Do you think they're roommates? I wonder if they're roommates, man.
Oh. Do you think they like talk shit about Dan in German, but like he doesn't even know about it? Just like having their little side conversations in German.
No, because I think Dan would sniff that out. Like he would have no idea what they were saying, but he would be immediately like suspicious.
I wonder if Dan has like a streak on Duolingo in German, just to weed that shit out, just secretly. Sitting in the weirdo room every day, just doing matching.
Dan probably learned German to yell at them.
We're 2 months away from him doing a very raspy interview on the Dan Patrick Show. I'm doing German Duolingo.
Like people who learn German for their German Shepherd dogs.
True. I'm trying to learn German. I got these German kids. Yeah, it's Dan getting into Duolingo. I mean, look, the painting is still happening, so maybe he'll get into language. Who knows? A man of refinement.
Bet you they cook a mean currywurst together. That's really where it's at.
By the way, viewer alert, folks. Toss on TNT. Villanova is tied with BYU with under 6 to go.
Could imagine that.
I'm sure Breeding would agree that Dan is a man of refinement.
It's one way to put it. But yeah, it's not pretty to watch, but good for Nova, man. Opening, oh my God, is it not pretty to watch? Holy hell. And yet they're tied. So this was the least predictable game in college basketball. I told everyone anything could happen in this shit show. But and it's making me feel better about UConn's offense watching these two fucking chuck bricks up at the backboard. So yeah, that was that, and maybe some German lessons for everybody. So Duolingo time. You can all challenge Mr. Hotball's streak, but I don't think you're beating it. What are you at now?
I'm gonna look at it right now. Shit, did I do it today? I did. Hang on, coming up. I mean, it's 2,394 days.
That's actually incredible.
I told you, I am a creature of routine. I might be the most routine-oriented beast in New England. You just know where I'm going to be at all times of the day. Once you know my schedule, you know exactly where I'll be. And it's part of my routine.
To the location. You can even identify.
It's called discipline. You guys should fucking learn about it sometime. Discipline. And select things. Not as discipline in other things, clearly.
As here we are at 11:42 after UConn 79 New Haven.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Meg, you got anything else for us?
That's it. I'm out.
Thanks, Meg.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
So Hurley Mania, should we go? This is pick your poison time. Should we go to Jake Fenner or should we go to Jaden Daly next? I'm gonna let you pick. This is your fault.
I am going to pick Jake because he's the only one of the two that texted me asking to come in.
Wow.
I just wanted to make sure that I could get out of the way.
You didn't ask me though.
No.
I don't have your number, which probably is for the better.
I'm a blast in group text. You can ask anybody.
I bet you are.
It's exactly
I bet you are.
Jake,
you
it's exactly what you think it is.
You haven't given it to me, and I'm not gonna go ahead and ask Hurley Mania, hey, what's Hotballs' number? I need to text him something. If I did text you anything, I would ask you about the one German food that we didn't mention, because I really hope that either Dwayne or Eric have introduced the coaching staff to doner kebab.
That was my thank you. We need to get a donor stand at Gamble.
Yeah. No, totally.
One of the greatest things in existence.
If you ever want to off Mr. Hotballs, if anybody just gets tired of listening to me tweet, you want to get rid of me, you set a sniper up on a roof and you put a doner kebab stand or like a box of string cheese. And those two things, like, I'm not leaving.
It's one of the greatest things.
I'd say the K word, my dog is in the other room. My dog loves doner kebabs.
Like true authentic doner kebab.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Coming in.
Best doner kebab I ever had was at a bus station in Leipzig, and it was one of the greatest things I've ever eaten in my entire life.
German food's underrated. People don't even understand.
It's so good.
I'm really impressed by Jake's over-the-top pronunciation, too. Just doing it for show. I get it.
Yeah, you really get into it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, but when you speak German, like, you kind of get into it. Like, remember that lady from the real world? And she went on and she was like, she had a little Latina flair in her and she became like a news anchor, and every like Spanish word, she would like really lean into it. You do the same thing with German. This is a fun, disgusting language to speak. Really get in. It's very guttural.
It's incredibly entertaining.
Say it from your chest.
Well, Jake, were you able to watch tonight, and what were your takeaways?
Essentially, most of my points were already made. I think the one thing that I'm interested in going forward was something you guys kind of hinted at, and it took me a while for this thought to pop into my head. So if I was at a press conference, I would ask this. A lot of the things we talked about tonight were like sluggish movement, poor passing, not a lot of sets being run. I'm wondering if that was on purpose, either A, knowing that you have to install a couple of point guards, B, knowing that you have some starters out and you don't want to overburden the offense with like 150 variations on a fist. Or 3, like, is that just going to be the thing going forward? Like, is this going to be a lot more reliant on individual style, talent, ability, floor vision, whatever you want to call it? And after this, again, with the obvious caveat that Braylon and Terrace aren't playing, are you going to adjust that? So, to me, when I think back to this game, I didn't really see a UConn offense being run. There wasn't a lot of movement. There wasn't a lot of crisp passing. I think there were a lot of times where people's passing was incredibly off. I think to Solo, Silas had a couple of off passes. It didn't seem like a UConn offense that I was used to seeing, or I think many of us are used to seeing under Dan in the last couple of years. So I'm wondering if that was by design. I'm wondering if that was by design just for tonight, or if that's something that we're going to see throughout the season. And I think it would be really interesting if after all of these years, he suddenly decided to just kind of change up the idea and the style. So I'm interested in looking at that going forward.
Sorry to cut in, but I think some of that has to do with just Reed being out, and like they don't really have a big guy with a ton of roll gravity right now, and it just kind of looks that way.
Sure, that's fair, and like I said, it could be because you don't have starters in. But if you do have starters in, if you have Terrace, and when you get Braylon back, and it still looks like this with not a lot of movement, then that'll be very interesting to say the least.
Because it did look like that at times in the Michigan State game too, but they had more success finishing around the rim in that game.
They did.
Yeah, I think they're going to be. They're going to run their offense a lot more than what you're seeing right now. I just think too many of these pieces that they have are like, they kind of just sort of the ideal fits for the sets and the kind of style offense that we run. I just can't see that not being the case at this point. But, I think they're going to be a little bit more liberal with some of the playmakers because they got to, especially early on, because they got to find that, like that's not a thing that's like naturally on the roster right now. I think Silas probably has the best chance to turn into that. I think Malachi is kind of deceptively effective at getting to the basket. The result's not always great, but, he's pretty solid in traffic. Alex certainly looks a little faster, a little bit more explosive this year. And Braylon could get guys off the dribble. And Solo's probably the best athlete on the team. So they'll have guys that do that. They got to kind of let them sort of figure out, how to take that initiative and get that feel within the offense as to when to be like, all right, like we haven't gotten those first 2 or 3 looks that we're looking for. Because they have a lot of sets that they run when you get way under where they're usually running the play for a specific shot for a specific shooter, and he can have the option to deny within the offense. I know it sounds crazy. Deny whether he wants to take that shot or not, or whether, depending on how he's coming off that screen, and kind of bail on the action. So like a lot of that kind of stuff is going to dictate, getting the feel for that is going to kind of dictate, who those guys are going to be, who's going to really have that green light, all that kind of stuff. So, and then just to get back to Cash Fraud's point, like clearly no Terrace right now. I think, like you said, there's just no gravity down low right now. You're just not going to get that as much with Eric. So, or Dwayne at this point. So I think you're just going to see a little bit more of that early on than maybe you would expect.
Yeah.
I would warn you, Jake. I mean, the coaching staff, Dan specifically, has been pretty upfront about this. Like, it's going to be less drawn up plays. It's going to be more freeform, a little more. Like, how much more? We're going to find out. But this isn't out of nowhere. And I also think that you're trying, like you said, you're trying to integrate 2 new point guards here. Like, also asking them to learn, 140 plays is a lot right now. So I think in the early going, especially these bye games, you kind of want them to get a feel off their athleticism, and then, as they get used to rotations and stuff, maybe you can start to layer some more stuff in. Because that's, you're going to need to. I also wonder, to some small degree, with how absolutely paranoid this coaching staff is, like pretty much every college men's coaching staff, terrified of putting anything on tape because they know they have so many new players, right? They might start running stuff against BYU that we're not going to see until that game.
Yeah, and that you got to downsize a little bit when you have 3 guards that you have to plug into the offense. I mean, you can't just shove 196 playbook down their throat in 2 seconds. That's very hard to get that that done in a couple of months, kind of thing.
Very true. Very true. Just 2 quick things. I see Bill's here. Hi, Bill Klingon. I see that large Connecticut sun is doing very well out in Portland. Very happy to see that from him. And then second point and final point, as I'm also watching Villanova absolutely blow this really close game. Harley Manny, you said it earlier that you might put Xavier in the basement. You know which Big East team didn't really look like they belonged in the basement?
Seton Hall Pirates.
Pesto ball, baby.
They look great tonight.
Pesto ball in front of 6,300 people at the Rock.
That's a stunningly high number to me, given where they are.
I wonder
can't wait
how
till we
many
lose
of
in
them
front
were
of
St. Peter's
4,300 there
people.
this year.
I really want to know how many of them were St. Peter's people.
It's 5,800.
Seems like
no. Listen, I saw, all I know is the score, but it exceeded my expectations. So, yeah, I mean, Shaw needs it this year. It's just, I hope that institutionally they have gotten it to at least above A10 level, of support. And I think it seems like they're getting there. And you know who else looked great tonight? DePaul.
DePaul did look good tonight.
Doing what they're supposed to do. So appreciate that.
They sure did.
Good to see some of the basement dwellers of the last few years. And, Georgetown, not as impressive, but Georgetown getting an easy win in a dominant bye game. Good for the league to see Georgetown, Seton Hall, and DePaul kind of getting off the mat. And, good to see Xavier not completely blow their own face off. They ran out of ammo, I guess. Yeah, so pretty good. I didn't see it. Hopples, did you see any of Providence Holy Cross?
I didn't. That was the one game I didn't get a chance to watch much of.
I heard people were melting down about it. I heard people were throwing
20-point lead. It got reduced to 6 with a couple minutes left to go. Got fascinating down the stretch.
Listen, I feel better for Providence hearing it was a 20-point lead down to 6 than just they struggled all night situation. So,
yeah.
They at least have that going for them, which is nice. Marquette easy over Albany. St. John's dominated Quinnipiac, but did give up 74 points, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the only team that's going to take the loss on opening night is Villanova, but a very understandable situation.
Very, very rough situation for them. One thing on that Seton Hall game, just looking at the roster preseason, it was essentially like Elijah Fisher, Nijay Hines. Those are the 2 people that are really going to kind of carry this team. Fisher had 22 minutes, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Solid. Doesn't really stand out. They ran 10 guys of over double-digit minutes. Very interesting, including Hines, who off the bench had 12 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 6 blocks.
Wow.
6 of the 9 blocks that Seton Hall had tonight came from Nijay Hines.
Yeah, that's impressive. I love Shaw. 5 for 15 from 3. Just Absolute murder ball.
Yep. That's pesto ball for you.
There you go.
Pesto ball grinds you down.
Yeah,
All right, Jake.
they needed it.
Jake, thanks a lot, man. I just want to keep the line
Absolutely.
moving here.
No,
You got
all
some
good.
noobs coming into the mix here.
Sure, happy to get new contributors.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Andrew Ham next. I'm sorry if I just massacred your name. I don't know if it's Hammy. That would be appropriate as we're talking about Terrace Reed, but go ahead, man. What do you got for him?
It's Ham. Thank you, though.
Ham.
Close enough.
Oh, nice.
I thought Jake raised a lot of good questions about the offense. Only 11 assists on like 26 field goals. And, speaking of the playbook, who's going to emerge as the possible Jackson Dart of this offense? Is it Silas? Is that predetermined now, or, who's going to be the playmaker?
I actually think it's Solo, but in terms of running the offense, it's going to be Silas, the majority. The one thing tonight that gave me a little bit of pause is that I said this earlier, like the thing about Malachi, he's been a really solid college player, is that he did get a little exposed when he started getting a lot more burn. And I think Dan really wants to use him a lot because he's a reliable older player. Dan's kind of, gritty, tough guy from the Bronx and all that. But like, you have to be careful with Malachi because in his career, he has struggled when his minutes go up above, like 20, 25. I think he's the perfect second point guard. It's going to be interesting and fascinating to watch how Dan is able to handle, like, there is a learning curve, understandably, for Silas DeMurray to get this.
Yeah.
And is Dan able to resist the temptation to go to just the much lower ceiling, but maybe much higher floor guy in Malachi, especially in some of these big games? I think he's going to lean into Silas. I think he will, but it's going to take some time. And it's for Silas's job here is just to facilitate Solo and Alex, really. You expect him to contribute as well, but there's not really the weight on his shoulders to be kind of the alpha dog here.
Is Silas susceptible to foul trouble? I didn't really follow him in Georgia that much, but like, is he going to stay on the floor when he's needed?
Yeah, I'll pull up his game log. It wasn't really fouling that was an issue. It was turnovers that were an issue.
Yeah.
He had a couple games where he turned into like a little bit of a turnover machine, but they were fewer and farther between, and a lot of those turnovers were kind of logged into like specific games. I think was against St. John's, was it?
St. John's, the St. John's game was brutal. That's why when all this, because St. John's wanted him and UConn wanted him, and he didn't even pick St. John's. He picked UConn, and all the St. John's fans got loud about the fact that he had 2 assists and 10 turnovers in a 66-63 win for Georgia last year. So imagine if he had a normal night. But he has a few games last year where he was up, 3-4 fouls pretty regularly, and that was playing in the SEC on a really struggling Georgia team. A struggling Georgia team that still made the NCAA tournament, but because that entire league did. So it is a step up for him, in terms of now being the lead guard at UConn from Georgia, right? But he does have a little bit of history for foul issues. He did not foul out last year in a game, but he did have 4 fouls, I believe 7 times. So,
All right.
and wildly enough, in the loss to Gonzaga in the NCAA tournament, he played 35 minutes, didn't have a foul. So,
I think he's just the guy we need on the floor for a decent amount of time, and we just can't, we can't afford to have Danny just want to pull him all the time, whether it's turnovers or fouls, or he's, to use the Jackson Dart reference, he's not sliding when he needs to slide and lowering his shoulder instead.
I think one part of that too is, don't forget, they're trying to integrate a lot of the other guys too. And this will all settle out as the season goes on. It's not just about, getting Silas minutes. It's also about, he wants to see what he has in Malachi. He wants to see what he has in Alec Millender. He wants to see if Solo can run the. I thought there were a couple possessions where Jalen brought the ball up, which was fun. So yeah, this is still the experimentation period a little bit, and it's going to be fascinating to watch as we go into the next 2 bye games, what kind of the aperture kind of tightens up, right? Because obviously you're not going to be doing this shit against BYU. I don't think in Boston. You're going to have to get to a couple of set rotations. And that's kind of, Hopball's what I'm looking at for these 3 games in general here, is what are the things that are the takeaways for when this schedule ramps up? What are we going to see as the consistent things they do in terms of rotations, in terms of lineups, in terms of just pairings, backcourt pairings?
Silas committed 3.1 fouls per 40 minutes last year, which is just under what like Hassan Diarra did last year at 3.2.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not bad.
Thank you, Cash Rod. Appreciate the check there. Yeah, and I mean, hopefully he tries to fight somebody on Creighton too. So
It's always fast.
I'm going to be at that game. I can't wait.
Andrew, you got anything else for us, man?
I don't. Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Andrew.
man. Gonna move it along to Mark here, and then we'll get to Jaden Daly. If anybody wants to speak, feel free to queue up. We'll get you in here. Mark, man, what do you got for us?
Hey, guys. I didn't watch 1 minute of the Huskies tonight because I was at the St. Joe's Lafayette game where the Leopards put on a show, but unfortunately they lost to the Hawks. But a quick question here. I'm watching this Villanova game. Are you guys actually rooting for Villanova? Like, should I be rooting for the conference just blindly, or can I root against Villanova?
I think in this situation, even like I'd be happy for our friend Chris, I actually am rooting for BYU from the point of view that it's one of the marquee games on UConn's schedule, and if UConn can win that game, I want that win to look as good as possible.
Yeah.
They'll be able to take care of Villanova on their own, hopefully. I'll say this. I was really impressed with what I saw about Villanova tonight. It looks like a Kevin Willard team, right? They are undermanned right now, and it's year 1, but they dragged BYU down to their level, and they nearly pulled it off. So I have nothing but impressive takeaways from what I saw out of Villanova tonight in a league where I just don't know once we get past 3 or 4 here. I think that Kevin Willard, what he's putting together down there this year, might be enough they could be a top 5 team in this league. Caden Lewis alone, who had a brutal night tonight. That's the thing they're going to be kicking themselves over. They're going to lose by 6 to BYU, sorry, we got some weird wind outside. I thought a tree fell down. They're gonna lose by like 5 to BYU tonight on a night where their star freshman Caden Lewis is 1 for 6 from the field. That's going to be the thing that keeps Kevin Willard up tonight. So if they can get him, there's huge expectations for him this year. If they can get him rolling, but play the kind of defense they did tonight against the really dynamic BYU team, Villanova's going to be fine. I don't know if they're a tournament team, but the expectations are on the floor right now. And, but I think it's better for UConn overall that BYU wins that game, because that's a BYU team that doesn't have what for them would be a bad loss.
Generally, pre-conference, are you rooting for the Big East, or are you rooting for chaos?
No, it's out of conference. I'm rooting for the league because last year, the thing that was the downfall of the league in terms of the tournament was that it was just the league was bad out of conference. UConn was bad, but like everybody was bad.
Yep.
And once you get into league play, the numbers are kind of set in place in all the computer metrics. You really can't go up or down a lot. The way those things change is by getting scalps in the out of conference schedule, by taking out big teams. So while it was better for UConn, I think that BYU beat Villanova, it would be better for the league, obviously, overall, if Villanova gets that win. But, the league, listen, even though I bet it, the league did not need Marist to beat Xavier tonight, right? The league did not need Holy Cross to beat Providence. It's hilarious for us. I get it. But it's bad for the league, and it would be bad for UConn. You need those wins to be against teams that don't have quad 4 losses.
Yep. Makes sense.
Because inevitably you're going to stub your toe
against
one of them. And, I mean, what do you think that Seton Hall loss did last year for you?
Yep. Last thing, I'll be down in Lawrence first week of December. If anyone else is down there, let's do a meetup.
We will be there. Not to get the hopes up, but we may or may not be doing a live show from there. So keep everybody up to date with what our psychotic
Love it.
plans will be out the corn in Kansas.
I'm just hoping I can get on a plane and get through TSA because I don't know if you've seen some of this shit on social media. It is wild in the American airport right now.
All right. Thanks, guys. Later.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Who we got next? Jaden Daly. How are you?
How are you, Joe?
Good evening,
Please,
Jaden.
I see the Seattle Redhawks on my monitor.
Yes.
The mighty
meant to
inflatable
ask
Red
you.
Hawk in the corner.
Oh,
Looks like he's been on the gas this off season.
the
Outstanding.
pride of the West Coast Conference cruising to a win over
Denver.
the newest member of the West Coast Conference, Denver.
Kicking that conference schedule off early here.
Yeah, well, no, not yet.
Very
A
nice.
preview of what's to come. So, Jaden, which of tonight's absolutely disgusting non-conference Big East games were you in attendance for?
The one involving the other ranked team.
Okay, he doesn't want to say it, but what were your takeaways watching St. John's Quinnipiac?
Quinnipiac couldn't shoot if they shot us by less than 34. We saw what St. John's could look like at its best. I'm concerned as to what they'll look like when they play a real team. And I do think that I don't know because I wasn't in the presser with him. I spoke to Tom Pecora instead. But I do think Pitino used this game as a test run for Bama in terms of pushing the pace a little bit and trying to go run and gun with a team that's going to try to make it 100-90 on Saturday. So I don't know about that on your end. I want to get your thoughts on that.
I mean, they put up 108 points. They shot 8 of 19 from 3. 8 of 19 3-pointers is what Nate Oates calls the first 5 minutes, but still that is pushing the pace for St. John's. And
That's an 83 possession game that St. John's pulled out a 1.30 in.
That is going to be a wild game. I
It's gonna be
would
really good.
probably say that I would be hesitant to get into a shootout with Alabama under any circumstances.
Yeah.
I think if the idea is like, oh my goodness, that was a block. I would say I would be very hesitant to want to play another team's game, especially when there's a lot of question marks, I think, offensively about this team and their cohesiveness right now. I feel like it might be asking for it a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. 1.30 for St. John's tonight.
Yeah. Can I just take the easy bait? Ian Jackson, no assists, 2 turnovers. Dylan Darling, 6 assists, 1 turnover.
And oh shit, I was gonna come up with those ISLers, but he was 5-1, so fuck that.
They've got players who were really good at assist to turnover ratio, just none of them the point guard that he thinks is the point guard. I like Darling a lot.
I do too.
But
his father was a former Jet, so he's already overcome that stigma.
That's a very good point. I wonder if starting lineups don't really matter, and it's interesting because Darling played 17 minutes, Jackson played 15. I'm interested if in the Bama game, if that is the same sort of breakout or if he really tries to give Darling more of the run. Now, Jackson was perfect from the field. That's the thing.
He didn't miss a shot. Plus 31.
So, and it's the embarrassment of riches they have. Like, who would you drop if you wanted? I mean, is there a situation where you want to get Jackson and Darling on the floor at the same time? It's what I would do, but I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
And
so yeah, I'm just excited for that game. Sunday, it should be a lot. And I know if St. John's loses, all of UConn Twitter is going to laugh about it, but I'm not going to take a lot away from it either way. That's just a really good game featuring 2 high-end teams, and it's great to see them testing themselves that early, right out of the gate.
What on earth are you talking about? Of course you're going to talk a lot of shit about it. What?
Yes.
Absolutely
bad faith.
Absolutely. The whole fatherhood thing is like taught you the evils of sportsmanship. Is not what the internet is for.
So how was Gamble? I had Connor up there tonight.
It was good. Everyone was excited. The New Haven fans turned out. The New Haven, they busted up a lot of the students. They made a lot of noise.
Very nice. There were a lot of Quinnipiac fans at Carnesecca. That impressed me.
Yeah, no, it was a fun atmosphere. It wasn't, fearful or intense, obviously, but it was nice to be back in the building. I didn't see what they put on a number. It looked like a sellout. There were a few, they put a full sellout on it. There were a few empty seats, but not many. Given the rough weather, it would have been understandable. But yeah, no, it was just fun to be back in the building and, not overwhelming atmosphere or noise, but I mean, it's New Haven and it's kind of a pot simmering on the stove right now as it builds to a week from Saturday. And then even more so 2 weeks from Wednesday.
Fair enough. I'll get my first look at this team when I'm up in Boston a week from Saturday, so
I'll see you there.
Yeah, I would have been at the Columbia game Monday if they didn't move it out of the Civic Center and into Gamble. Gamble on a weeknight is fucking impossible for me, so.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I'm going. I mean, it's a 6:30 Monday game.
Yeah, I'd either have to take the entire day off from work, which I wouldn't mind doing, and then leave the city at leave at 11 o'clock and fucking make my way up to stores via Hartford. So
I think your bigger issue would be the way back. I don't know what time you would get back to
Yeah, that would be the much bigger issue.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow I get to start my real sicko shit. I have a better game tomorrow, or maybe not better, but more in my wheelhouse.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, don't say it. Hold on. I'm going to guess this. Where is Jaden Daly tomorrow? Let me take a look.
Yeah, look at the schedule.
Please tell me you're not at St. Joseph's, Manhattan.
No, I stopped covering ones versus non-ones a long time ago. I don't do that shit anymore.
NJIT Fordham.
Yes, I'll be at Roselle tomorrow.
Okay. You can't.
My second favorite gym in the world, behind only the Palestra.
I mean, I knew you wouldn't be at Merchant Marine at Sacred Heart because your hatred for the Merchant Marine Academy is just overwhelming.
You mean the school that signs my football checks?
Oh, are you MMA? I'm sorry. I was thinking
yes.
Coast Guard. Oh, is that SUNY Maritime?
Oh, SUNY I've filled in at SUNY Maritime a couple times. I know the SID there. I used to work at Manhattan. Coast Guard is Merchant Marine's big rival.
Yes, the Bear. I remember the Bears hate them with the passion of 1,000 suns. If you're in the state of Connecticut tomorrow and a sicko and you want even more college basketball, folks, Sacred Heart's home opener, 7 p.m. against Merchant Marine Academy. Tickets as low as $14 on Vivid Seats. If you pay $14 for that, please get home.
$14 to go to the outskirts of Bridgeport to see them play at D3. May God have mercy on your soul.
It's beautiful.
I'm watching Portland and Willamette right now. That's where I'm at today.
Oh boy.
One of those two teams, one of those two programs produced one of the best rookies in the NBA right now, and it's not the Division I team.
Willamette looks like a high school team.
Willamette is Cedric Coward's alma mater.
Oh.
Where he transferred to Duke for 6 minutes. And then to the Memphis Grizzlies, where he's been a star on a team that has Cam Spencer and endless drama. endless drama.
Outstanding. Let me try to write up the St. John's game before it gets too late. You guys are 1-0. Another team I cover is 1-0. Two teams I cover are 1-0 because Seton Hall won tonight too. I mean, what you want me to say?
Oh, no, Jay, we're fighting for our fucking life out here. Jay Daly at Daily Dose of Hoops. Check it out. It's pinned in the chat. He had Connor up here, wrote a great recap of the UConn opener. Looking forward to seeing you up in Boston and being with us throughout the season.
Absolutely. Love you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
So what a day it was, our opening day.
Oh, God, the Red Hawk that you just tweeted. Oh,
look at him. He is looking mighty this year. They pumped a lot of air in his ass. Let me tell you.
Gonzaga goes into that building this year, and I don't think they come out. Oh.
Do they really? Are they really going to Seattle?
They're in the same league this year, for this year only. They're both in the West Coast Conference.
Oh.
Bring what you can swing.
Man, I kind of want to go.
You want to fly out. I knew it.
I kind of want to see that. Can you imagine Gonzaga playing in that gym?
Yeah, because I see where Gonzaga plays in that league.
Yeah, but like that, this is a whole other basket of apples. Who do you think gets to broadcast the game?
I'm looking right now to see if they've wild carded it. Give me 1 sec.
January 17th, they don't have a broadcaster yet.
Oh.
No. This is where we all get mad. This is where we all scream at the heavens and ask ourselves why.
I see why you're
It's
mad.
not at Seattle U, it's at Climate Pledge.
Home game for Seattle.
No,
But it's not at Seattle U's gym, it's at where the Seattle Kraken play. It's at the bigger arena.
But, Hot Balls, remember the only thing funnier than seeing them wedged in to the Red Hawk Center is when they bring the inflatable Red Hawk courtside with like tarps on the seats, and it's just sitting there.
If they don't, we riot.
That's what we get instead. It's going to be great.
Oh.
I'm very curious to see what UConn game we would all be missing in order to attend.
I'm pulling it up. That's still America in 2025. Heaven forbid we got Gonzaga going into the Red Hawk Center. God damn it.
At Georgetown. That's an easy miss.
Oh, and isn't that a noon game too?
It's a noon at Georgetown. That's an easy miss.
You really might have to fly out to Seattle for this, Hot Balls.
And bring the Red Hawk back with you.
He's not.
Otherwise, what's the point?
He's not saying anything because I know he's like looking on Kayak right now. He's looking right now at flights. He absolutely is.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on.
And by the way, that's UConn has the bye week that week, so they play at Georgetown on the Saturday, and then they're off until the following Saturday against Villanova.
Yes. Let's see.
He's looking it up right now. He's not saying a goddamn thing. I know exactly what he's doing. He's trying to figure out.
I'm very interested in this. I need to see the answer to this.
$323 round trip.
Oh my god. But that gets you there at 9:15, so that's cutting it a bit close.
No, I'm going on Friday.
Oh, if you go on Friday.
And I come back Sunday.
He always flies out a day early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get there early. I come prepared. I like to acclimatize myself.
Fair.
2 words.
Before terrorizing the local populace.
2 words. Business trip.
Just go to Jamar's Sports Bar and have like 972 Budweisers.
Oh God, you're never
You've met Jamar before, right?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because otherwise you just walk in and you're like, "Hello, I'm Mr. Hot Balls," and then you drink the entire bar dry.
I assure you, Jamar has met him. Okay.
Yeah. He would probably rent a forklift just for that event to get my fat ass to Climate Pledge. Just dump me off my seats and leave me.
I can't believe these absolute cowards are playing in a bigger arena.
Not enough.
I cannot believe that they have deprived us of a game at the Red Hawk Center between Seattle and Gonzaga.
What a spectacle that would be.
For fucking Mountain West, the sequel.
So disappointing.
What a spectacle. It's not too bad of a flight, 8 hours and 30 minutes.
With a layover, probably?
Yeah.
Where is that layover?
No, there's no layover.
Oh, direct? From Hartford?
No, actually, I lied. Ooh, what a weird stop.
Please be Boise. Please be Boise.
No, it's Orlando. It's always Orlando. Whenever I go to watch
take the longest flight.
I always get
such a
stuck
weird
in Orlando.
flight.
That's an awful flight. Don't do that.
That's horrific.
For Christmas, I'm buying Mr. Hotballs a fucking map of the United States.
That's horrific, and I took an 11:59 p.m. flight out of Sacramento coming to the East Coast.
That's right. But you checked a little piece of silverware in your baggage.
That I did. That I absolutely fucking did. You know who's not a coward? Oregon State.
Oh, no.
Is playing at the Red Hawk Center.
I was looking at that score like with secondhand embarrassment. Please tell me
They did. They won.
Okay.
They won.
Yes, they held on to beat who was it? It was
Oh.
terrible.
Oh, I see Postradamus is here, so I get to make this reference. You can Karen in Goodfellas at the apartment complex with this situation. You can call up to the landlord and say that you have two, I'm not going to say the word, in the West Coast Conference, and it's Gonzaga and Wazoo, because Wazoo is also cowardly enough to not be playing at the Red Hawk Center and instead playing at Climate Pledge Arena. You can call them both Janice Rossi.
That would be the same Wazoo that just lost at home 83-81 to Idaho tonight. So.
Yes.
The Vandals strike again.
We're so back.
Yeah.
We've never been more back.
By the way, Oregon State 67, North Dakota State 65. I'm glad those. I'm glad
UCLA Eastern Washington is an 8-point game.
Well, listen, great coaching.
What are you doing, Hurley Mania?
Great coaching takes time. As I terrifyingly go to find out the Donovan Dent stat line that I am absolutely terrified for.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat for this.
It is.
Let's see. How bad is it?
He's 7 for 16 from the field. He's got 19
Okay.
points.
He's co-leading the team.
Would somebody else on this team do something?
Sky Clark, 2 for 6 from 3, 4 for 12 from the field. What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, well, they're 8 for 26 from 3. That's,
That's not good.
An issue.
That's very not good.
An issue. But, I'm glad that the Oregon State program that barely beat North Dakota State tonight and the Wazoo program that lost to fucking Idaho at home are just going to blow up the Mountain West to do Mountain West 2 Electric Boogaloo next year. And because of that, Gonzaga never goes to the Red Hawk Center.
Well, they probably just, they'd find a way out because they're cowards.
Right.
Speaking of the Red Hawks, talking about my non-conference game of the year, on Monday, December 22nd, at 2 p.m., something called the Hoops for Holidays at the Convocation Center, home of your UTSA Meet Roadrunners, Seattle is coming to San Antonio.
Oh yes.
To do business.
Posty, you gotta be there.
Monday at 2 p.m. Yeah, I'm taking the day off.
You gotta be there, dude.
That is glorious. That is.
Oh my god.
I have to see what is televising that.
You have to ESPN Plus.
That's
ESPN Plus,
honestly.
And if you haven't seen what the Convocation Center looks like, you gotta Google it. It is.
All right, I'm looking it up.
UTSA gym.
It's a gym. I think they pushed the bleachers in.
I think Penny Hardaway and Memphis freaked out the first year because the walls are so close to the baskets on the end zone.
It is so close. That is uncomfortable.
Look at that DJ booth up behind the backboard though. What is that thing? It's like a raised. Is that a concession stand? I don't even know what that is.
That is an awkward looking building.
It's the kind of building where there's one of the Florida schools has this, one of the ASUM Florida schools where it's designed so the upper level of seating, you can just put a curtain over it and make it more intimate, but they never actually do it. So it's what was the point?
Because it's a 3,000 seat gym. Why would you ever need to make that more intimate?
Now, the Convocation Center has a special place in my heart because this was always where they
look at that VIP lounge.
This is where they would always do the college 3-point contest and dunk contest whenever San Antonio hosted a Final Four. I think last year they did it as well there, but this was always the spot.
Very cool.
Look at that. They got the VIP lounge.
Oh my god, the VIP lounge.
And then on either side there's signs that say, "I'm a beak freak."
Oh, good lord.
See, I have an assignment for you. I just need a beak freak shirt. That's it.
Do you think?
And I say this as someone who owns a UTSA T-shirt. I need another one now.
Do you think Beacon Plumbing will send me a shirt and I can sit behind ESPN Plus and get them like free advertising soon? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put a Store Central logo on it. It'll be perfect. It'll make no sense. It'll be great.
I love the old school scoreboard too. That's fantastic. With a Lucky Eagle Casino and fajitas. That's it. That's all it says is fajitas. Two great tastes that taste great together.
Sure.
God, imagine
Whatever
getting
you
stuck in
say.
the league with that team.
No, I actually can't.
I
Yeah, I
got
just don't.
Thank
another
God.
ad for DocuNation. I don't know that. I don't know what that's all about. Looks like
No,
face painting's a big hit there. Could send Posty live on location. He could go hang out at the Beak Freak Lounge, get his face painted. It's the day out in the yard.
Tomorrow night, Hot Balls features a game that is like entirely designed to piss you off.
Which one is it?
Texas versus Duke in the Dick Vitale Invitational in the arena in Charlotte. Not at Duke. In the NBA. I mean, I say NBA. Have you seen the Hornets? In the NBA
the Time
arena.
Warner Arena. It's not the old Coliseum.
No, God, that'd be amazing. No, they detonated.
That would be something.
The Coliseum is amazing because they built it and imploded it in like 20 years. Meanwhile, Hartford's just trying to like get another 5 years out of the arena in Hartford.
Hell yes. All right, what else do we have going on tomorrow?
Not a ton. Kentucky bye game, Purdue bye game.
Alcorn State, Florida State is what I'm keeping my eye on. You joked about the Merchant Marine Academy. They're in Fairfield playing Sacred Heart tomorrow.
I know. Listen, if I didn't have a kid and a wife, I'd be there in spats. Give me more.
I'm between either that or spending the $5 to go to Rose Hill.
If it was cool, I've never been to Rose Hill for a game. I've been in it. There wasn't a game, and it's on the list, but I don't know. I don't know when it's happening. Hot Balls. It's like you with the Palestra. I've got to make it happen someday. I just don't know how.
We'll get there. I want to see Princeton's arena too.
It's a wild.
Do they play at Hobie Baker, or is that just strictly ice hockey?
No. It's not Hobie Baker. It's next to. It is a wild physical structure. It's an indoor track facility. It actually kind of looks a little like the Sky Dome on the outside. And they maneuver the building in such a way so there's also a basketball arena. It's worth looking up photos. It's Jodin Gymnasium.
It's a weird looking thing, man. I kind of want to be inside of it.
Now, I've been in there, and it will completely mess with your peripheral vision. I'm convinced it helps Princeton out because it makes no sense, that building.
Their whole campus is wild.
They did a great job with the football stadium. Yeah, no, it's pretty nuts. I'm trying to.
I do want to go see a hockey game at Princeton. That arena looks.
Yeah, Hobie Baker.
Bananas.
Be great. I got to figure out when we go to Fordham, and I got to get Hot Balls to the Palestra, and I got to get Hot Balls.
Well, what's going on the weekend of the Florida thing? What do we got? What's going on that week?
The weekend of the Florida thing.
Well, Florida's a Tuesday.
They're playing Florida on December 9th.
That's a Tuesday.
Yeah. The Saturday before they host Holy Cross. I mean,
I might make a weekend of it.
Where does Columbia play their basketball? I have no clue.
Oh, they play right on campus. I've been there. Been there several times. If you like being in a basement, it's fun. Actually, it's a neat little gym.
Really.
It is. No, it's a neat little gym. So it's on campus. It's like 118th Street. It's the only team that regularly plays in the borough of Manhattan, or always plays in the borough of Manhattan. They like using that qualifier because of St. John's, but
I bet they do. Oh, Columbia plays St. Lawrence.
Yeah,
or Sarah Lawrence.
Columbia's got that feel like the Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. Yeah, like side venue. They always have the pro wrestling over there.
Yes.
But you go into the Korakuen and you have to take like an elevator. It's really weird. It's like going to like a DMV or a post office. Like it doesn't feel like you're going. It's very Tokyo. You don't feel like you're like going to an arena or any kind of like gym or anything. Because you're going to an office building and you like take this elevator up and you just open this like random singular door, and there's this whole ass wrestling venue.
And
Columbia Gym kind of has that vibe.
Yeah. And tonight's I went to a couple games there in like 2011. It was just before Linsanity. It was just when Kyle Smith had gotten there and started to turn it around, but it was early and had like 5 Division I coaches on his staff, and they stunk, but they were better than they'd ever been. But tonight's opponent has to turn it around involving that Columbia team, because New Haven, they've got a back-to-back this weekend. The first ever home game in Division I Friday night. Not Friday night, I'm sorry. What is the Friday afternoon? This should have been on the list, honestly, Jake. 1 p.m. New Haven hosts Columbia on Friday.
Really?
And then Saturday, the funniest game maybe on the entire calendar. Penn State goes to New Haven.
Wait. Why are they playing back-to-back?
It's a back-to-back.
Is it like an MTE?
It's an unbracketed event.
It's an unbracketed MTE?
I don't believe it's an MTE. I'm trying to pull up their schedule to see it. This is where we get when we get to 12:30 in the morning, folks. If you're newer to the show, thanks to Source Central, this is where it goes. If you don't want to keep listening, I won't blame you, but we'd love you to stick around. This is when we get off on our tangents. No, it's the Hazel Center. I really want to go to the game Saturday, but it's at the same time as football, UConn football. And
who are they playing?
They're playing Penn State. Penn State.
Who's UConn football playing? I meant.
UConn football is Duke, who's good.
Okay. All right. But well, they're going to get blown out by Duke. Anyway.
Duke is 3 p.m. I'm thinking a Sickos doubleheader.
If you want to roll the dice with 95 traffic, go right ahead. But yeah, wow, how about that? That's so bizarre that they are playing literally back to back.
Yeah, I know the reason why they got Penn State there, and it's actually a lot better for Penn State than New Haven, and I'll leave it at that. The fact that they're doing it back to back is fucking wild.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that the University of New Haven is bringing Pepis to
Saudi Arabia? No,
okay.
But their affiliation with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, you would think, would reduce the need to worry about money, but here we are.
Yeah, well, they need to build a basketball program.
They do, and I think they will. They
look pretty solid. I will give them credit for being a team that is playing their first ever Division I game. They looked pretty solid. Yeah, and they play in a conference where it's probably going to be very easy for them to win. So yeah. I'm very happy for them.
They're going to be very competitive very quick. And I want to shout out to Ted Hodeling, who's been the coach there for 13 years. And it's cool that he gets to now.
Oh my God. The broadcast talked so many times tonight. This is like just my one small, minuscule gripe about the broadcast. They kept talking about John Beeline over and over and over and over again. Like every 4 minutes they were talking about, the John Beeline system. It's like, I get it. I got it the first 4 times you mentioned it. It's 10 minutes left in the first quarter, or first half. You don't have to mention it again.
They kept mentioning Dan said he even wants to take something, but they saw from this offense, yes, we get it. John Beeline, the offense. Cool.
It was very fun and very enjoyable until it very much did not become fun or enjoyable. Oh, New Haven's going to Nashville to Memorial Gym to play Vanderbilt.
Yes, which will be
cool.
A test. But yeah, no, first year in D1 for them, and they were in the D2 Elite 8 2 years ago, and Ted Hotling's been their coach for 13 years. So, and that league is, I love the NEC, but it's a hole right now, and they've got one team that just won the freaking title that's quitting D1, and there's 2 or 3 or 4 more that might do the same thing, but New Haven's all in on it, and they've got money to support them, and
they do.
I'm going to be anxious to see where they go. Where they develop the next couple of years. They are also playing at Walsh Gymnasium this year.
Oh God, I was actually just about to ask you this. So I gotta get to bed, but I gotta ask this question. They play. Do you have New Haven's schedule in front of you?
I do.
They play 4 Power 5 conference teams this season, or 5 after us.
They play Vermont State Linden.
They do play Vermont
Yeah,
State.
they have a 3 game in a row non-D1 week, which is fun.
Which is great. Vermont State, Linden, Salve Regina, and Mitchell. But they play 4 teams left on their schedule who are Power 5 conference schools. Which one of those 4 do you think they have the best chance at beating? Because I
Penn
have
State. Penn
my
State's
thoughts.
ass. Penn State stinks. Did Penn State lose tonight? They came close.
They did not. They won. They beat
They beat
Fairfield
Fairfield
76-68.
Yeah, they pulled away late because that game was close. They tied
So,
at the half.
so Penn State at Walsh Gym against Seton Hall, at Conte against Boston College, and then at Vanderbilt. We can shove at Vanderbilt away. Essentially, is it going to be Penn State, Seton Hall, or Boston College?
I'd say Penn State because it's a home game. Second, I would make BC. BC's awful. Third, I would say Seton Hall. I'm going to give them credit for how they may have built a serviceable roster down in South Orange this year to at least be not dead last in the league. Vanderbilt's kind of a sunk cost there. By the way, Jake, 11 a.m. Monday, December 22nd, New Haven at Rose Hill.
New Haven?
New Haven, 11 a.m. on a Monday at Fordham.
You said November 22nd. Oh, December 22nd. December 22nd. Oh, wow. That's magic right there. That's an early Christmas present for all of us to enjoy. I gotta see you know what? I gotta see if I'm working that day. I gotta see if I'm working. If I'm working a night shift that day, I might go into Rose Hill that early. I work a night. Oh, I'm off. I'm off that day.
Oh, I just made your Christmas.
I don't know. I work a night shift the day before. Who knows? We'll have to decide, won't we?
Well, we have 6 weeks to decide.
That we do.
And it's all ahead of us, Hot Balls. It's back.
We're back. It's back. Everything's back. Everything feels right in the world. I mean, we're on here talking about dog shit basketball venues, dog shit basketball teams, pricing trips out that we absolutely should not take.
No, universe. See you in Seattle.
It feels good to be back. I feel more complete. And speaking of back, that's what we're going to be on Friday.
Oh, what a
because I feel like I'm done.
I am as well. Friday night, 7:30, the Riverhawks or the Brook Chickens, if you will, of UMass Lowell coming to Hartford. 7:30 on Peacock. Just putting it out there.
Is it 7:30 or is it 7?
7:30. I checked 3 times because it was weird for me too. 7:30 Peacock Friday night in Hartford. And we'll see if the offense looks better. Hopefully the defense looks better as well. But if the worst part is a 24-point win, we're going to be okay.
I think we'll survive. I'm looking forward. Friday night in Hartford, whooping it up. Where are we going to go? Maybe we'll go to the Urban Lodge. Maybe we'll go to Sorella.
Maybe you'll finally go up to the Coliseum Club.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll check out the amenities that the XL Center has to offer this weekend. I don't know. We could be doing that. Maybe we just go to the package store on Pratt Street, just buy some beer and sit out on the street like a bunch of bums.
I mean, that's what you usually have. It's probably that. It's
probably the play. It's just warm out enough to do that, pull that off, I think.
and yet it'll be 2 hours after sundown. It'll be about 50 degrees. You'll be the happiest man on earth.
Don't they have those little warmer things they cart out there though?
They do. I thought you wouldn't want those though.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a poser
You
thing.
just want it to be cold and miserable.
Oh, it's so
Hot
great.
balls, you're gonna love this. I'm gonna be in Hartford on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be there for the game. I'm going to my first ever wrestling house show at the Webster.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that is gonna be an interesting time.
Yeah, he's co-headlining the main event, Hot Balls. He's
I actually am. Yeah, they actually just called me up.
You gotta get some collar. You get a blade instantly.
I might
Start
get
bleeding
glass
everywhere.
to the back if I'm being quite honest.
Could be crazy. Wild times in Hartford on Friday night. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight, as always. Always a wonderful opportunity to kick off the college basketball season. We will be back Friday night, probably about an hour after UMass Lowell. See what kind of shape we're in after the game. Could get entertaining. It's Friday night. Nobody's got anywhere to be on Saturday either.
Oh, no.
I don't want to hear about anything your kids are doing. Whatever. They're independent. They can fight for themselves. We'll be back Friday night after the game to recap all the hijinks, action, and more as UConn takes on the UMass Lowell Riverhawks at the People's Arena in Hartford, Connecticut. So we'll see everybody Friday night. And until then, you guys know the deal. Keep in touch with yourselves, everybody. Good night.